Okay, we are back. Current exposure. All right, everyone. I hope you come back into the room. I need you back into the room for part 2 of the double feature. Where is everyone? Hold on. All right, get back in the room because we are going to have Edden Rivera on. And I'm just pulling up his literature. All right, so Edden Rivera. He is running for Councilman at Large in Newark. He plans to focus on accountability, opportunities, and strong neighborhoods. He has a plan for public safety, education, economic opportunities, small business growth, youth investment, senior support, and like I said, accountability and also transparency. So let's bring Edden Rivera on. Hello, Edden. How are you?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you
Yeah,
well.
because the AirPods were acting up earlier, so I want to make sure you can hear me so that you don't miss anything.
Okay. Did I say your name right?
Yes,
Edden?
ma'am.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, Mr. Rivera,
Talk to me.
what inspired you to run for councilman at large?
What inspired me to run for councilman at large?
Yes.
Um, so, first off, a disclaimer, right? What I like to say before I start speaking, I will try to keep specific names out of my mouth because I run a very simple and clean campaign. So
Okay.
I will address to people in general. I will try my best not to attack anyone, but if they deserve it, they'll get it, right? So what
Okay.
inspired me, right? What inspired me is the mismanagement of the city. Okay.
Mm.
Um, Contrary to
Mm-hmm.
what many people have seen, right? And people see me for the first time, and the first thing they say, it's a new face.
Right.
No, it's not a new face. It's a face that's been hiding behind the scenes and watching for years, right? People said and asked the question, why did you pick 2026? Because I got all my ducks in a row right now, right? Because I've been sitting
Mm.
at these council meetings, and what I like to divulge to people is I go to every single council meeting, right? The only difference is that I'm not a Donna Jackson. I am not a Felicia Singleton, right? I'm not up at that mic. I'm not up at that mic screaming. I'm sitting behind the scenes and taking notes and
Right.
watching and saying, what are people complaining about? What are people asking? What are people not getting answers to? And then right before the meeting ends, Eden disappears. That's why you never seen my face, right? But I do my research, and basically for the past 2 years, I've been researching what's been happening, what hasn't been happening, what's improved and what hasn't improved. And unfortunately, the unimprovement has outweighed the improvements in this city, and that's what led me to run, right? Just like every other resident in the city of Newark, I'm tired, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of hearing we can do this for you. And when you go to places, certain departments, reaching and seeking for certain help, you get the, oh, it was offered, but it's not for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? You
Okay.
don't qualify. How do I not qualify? Right? Programs that are offered to the city should be for the city, right? There shouldn't be um, a financial restriction, right? A person in a low income house deserves to get certain services, but so do the people that work in the city of Newark. So do the people that make
Okay.
money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll bring it to you straight up, right? I am a father of four,
Okay.
right? I make decent money, but that doesn't mean that because I make decent money, I don't have a family that I spend money on. I don't have cars to pay insurance for, car payments to make, rent payment to make. So just when you think, hey, Eden makes decent money, he doesn't deserve this help. You don't know my lifestyle. You don't know what I'm experiencing at home, right? So while we provide certain services for people who really need it, who are struggling and need the help, we also need to open that up to people who make money and work and pay the taxes that fund those services.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay.
So
Okay.
I gave you all of that in a nutshell, right? But at the end of it all, it's because I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing Donna Jackson, right? I'm tired of hearing Felicia Singleton at these meetings. I'm
And
tired
those
of hearing Queen.
solutions.
I'm tired of hearing who you previously had on, Nadira Brown, right? I'm tired of
Right.
hearing them complain and getting a response with, thank you for your comment. I'm not giving you a comment. I'm not giving you
Wow.
a comment. To me, a comment is,
That's
great
deep.
job, City Council. You did your job. That's a comment. But I'm not giving you a comment. I'm bringing a complaint. And you're saying, thank you for your comment. Next speaker. That is such the biggest disregard in the world. When I hear that man say that, my skin crawls. Because when
Mm-hmm.
you say next speaker and you say it in that tone, you're basically saying, get lost. Next
Yeah.
person.
Next. Next. Like when I'm swiping on my phone.
Yeah, yeah. So that's basically it, right? It's the same concerns everybody has, right? We're tired. We need people out there that are going to listen to you, people that are going to take you in consideration. And listen, I'll be the first one to tell you, right? And all of us candidates have said it. I may not have all the information, but if you come to me, Shakima, and say, Eden, I need help with this. Listen, Shakima, I'm not the person that can help you with that. Why
Right.
don't you go to this person next to me? They'll be able to help you. And I'll follow you through the process until you get your end result. And right
The
now,
follow through.
that's not
None.
there. That's not there.
None. Yeah. I've heard people have gone on wild goose chases. Nobody follows up. Nobody checks to see, okay, was it resolved? Was it not? What happened? It's
So
just nothing.
I'll give you a perfect example, right?
Okay.
Um, did you see the council meeting on the 1st of April?
April 1st. That was a day meeting.
That was a day meeting, right? And
Yeah.
I
I,
spoke at that meeting,
okay. So I
right?
missed that one. I didn't see
So
that one.
I spoke at that meeting, and the first thing I did was, I'm here, and I introduced myself, and the council froze. They said, who's this guy? Nice to
Mm-hmm.
meet you. I'm Edden Rivera. I'm running against you.
Okay.
Okay. And they all froze. And I said, now, I'm not here to bash anybody. I am here because the residents of Newark need answers to the questions that I am about to supply to you.
Right.
5 questions, Shakima.
What
That's
were
all they
they?
were. Okay. So they're on there, right? It's basically my mission statement, but in question style. What are you planning on doing with homeless services? What is your plan for economic growth? What is your plan for public safety and including and improving the community aspect of it? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I handed these files to the gentleman, and he went on ahead and gave them to each and every one of them, with the exception of Mike Silva, who was obviously mourning the loss of Al Contino,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So we understand
Right.
that, right?
Apologies for that. You're
All
right.
all 8 of them received this document, and I said, now that you have the document in front of you, I have briefly explained to you what I need from you, and the questions are in blue.
They have 10 days to answer. It's April
Ma'am,
23rd. Did they?
ma'am, ma'am, they haven't answered yet. They haven't answered yet.
Wow.
Not one single email. And I told them
Wow.
during my speech, I said, listen, I have 5 minutes. 5 minutes is not enough to get through this document. That's why I put the document in front of you.
Right.
Okay. And I
Yeah.
told them, when you respond to me, my email is there. It's my campaign email. It's open to everyone. Right. I said, answer to that email, but give me a human response, not a political response. And that is where I think I got them, because now they're like, how do we answer these questions to him?
I'm
And how
starting.
is,
I'm
and
sorry. I'm starting to think. I'm starting to question whether they know how to read.
correct. So I'm saying, so how do we answer this question to him, and why, how is he going to use them? Right. So I answered that to them because they looked puzzled to me. And I said, listen, in no way am I using this politically.
Right.
Okay. I want you to understand that I am a resident of Newark.
Yeah.
I too have to make a decision as to who I'm going to vote for mayor, who my 3 other colleagues in at large are going to be, and who is going to be the next leader of my ward. So if you want your seat, you need to answer humanly and tell me what I want to hear, so that then I can make my informed decision and be able to inform my friends in the city. Because unlike others, you may think because Eden lives in the North Ward, he doesn't know anybody in the South Ward, in the East Ward. I know people in the city. So I'm able to have productive conversations with my friends and be able to, in a productive conversation, be able to say, hey, I think we should vote for this person. Right.
Okay.
So they froze. And I said, listen, ultimately, what I want is an answer before Election Day. It has been since April 1st. Not one of them has had the guts to respond.
Wow. And they have to respond in 10 days based on council rules. And I know this because they so called use council rules to
Yep.
ban me, but it was a complete injustice and the rules were misapplied. But we're dealing with that later.
Yep.
But again, also to echo your point about how they either ignore people or they can't read. They're either
Correct.
dismissive and disrespectful or they have a literacy problem. I don't know which one it is, but either one is just not good. I've sent them multiple emails, no response
Yep.
on serious matters. At least former council president McIver answered my emails.
But listen, even the smallest problem is worth answering to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's that's the change that we need to bring to this council, right? We need people to understand that we're all running in this race because we want to bring you what you want. We want you to be heard. You're
Mm-hmm.
not being heard. No matter how many times people say it, the current administration will say, we're hearing you. Okay. How do they hear you? How
Mm-hmm.
do they hear you? Because if you get a response, the response you get is, thank you for your email. We'll reply within 10 days. And then in 10 days, you still don't get a response.
Wow.
Right? And these questions were formulated because when I ran my campaign, I said, I want to include the residents. So my campaign says it very simple, right? All of my flyers say, you have my mission statement in front of you. It has
Yeah.
my campaign email in the bottom, right? And it has
Yes,
my
it does.
website, EdenRivera.com. Right. And when you go to EdenRivera.com, there is a suggestion page. There's a suggestion category. That category, when you fill it in, and I tell people all the time, go to EdenRivera.com and tell me what you want me to hear, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. I want to hear from you. And Shakima,
Mm-hmm.
since my official candidacy till April, the day before April 1st, 125 people reached out to me.
Wow. That's pretty
And
good.
And the 125 people that reach out to me, if they're reaching out to me as a candidate, they have definitely tried to reach out to a councilman or a
Yeah.
councilwoman,
Ain't got nothing.
right? So then I went a step beyond and I said, now, these people, these residents that are reaching out to me, I got to now reform my questions and kind of address everybody's. So that's where those 5 questions came from. I basically looked at every email and I replied to every person. I said, I received your email. I am going to address it at the council. Hopefully I get a response. If I do, I will answer. I will return and reply to you. Now, the problem is you're not making just yourself look bad as a sitting council person. You're making me look bad because I promised the feedback when I got those answers.
Right.
So what I've done for those 125 people is I give them an update every couple of days and I say, well, still waiting for the response. If I don't get one, when I get into the office, I will gladly answer your questions. And
Okay.
this is me, a candidate.
Okay. Right. Wow. You're like the activist without pay,
Exactly,
doing the
right?
work and not getting paid. We
Exactly.
have a question from
Yep.
Lizette Vera. She says, we are in the North Ward and have not heard of you or seen your flyers. You are by far someone we would love to know more about.
So I've been in the North Ward multiple times. I have been trying my best to get everywhere that people want me to be. If you want to meet me and would like for me to stop by your neighborhood and you're more than you can go into my website and tell me where you want me to be. Listen, I'm going to be the face of Newark. right? If you want to meet me, we've had plenty of meet and greets that I have, shared on my page. If you need me, please send me an email or send me a text. My number is public, obviously, because now I'm running for office. But reach out, and I'll be more than happy to stop by. I've been very busy, right? I've been not only do I got to focus on my home, the North Ward, but I got to focus on every ward, right? Because as an at-large candidate, I don't want to leave any wards out. But just to give you an idea as to where I've been to the Mount Prospect area, the Broadway Enterprise area. I've been to Bloomfield Ave. I've been to
Uh-huh.
Stephen Crane Elderly.
Okay.
We've visited the seniors in Casamia. I've done this in conjunction with the current candidate for the North Ward, Marco Sanchez. So I wish as one person I can be everywhere. But if you need
Mm-hmm.
me somewhere and if you want to meet me, please feel free to reach out and I'll be more than happy to take the time out to meet with anyone.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Now, let us talk about, I know you came, I met you at the the fire scene
Hmm.
in the West Ward, not too
Correct.
far from where I live. And the things that you were saying about code enforcement and the lack of training and how 2 years the building was complaints were made,
Hmm.
nobody did anything, and I'm like, wow, 2 years of complaints, but then we have this culture now where nobody wants anyone to complain.
Correct.
They jump on your back and say you're complaining, give solutions, but if you're not the person in the position of authority to do something, to actually execute a solution or carry out a solution, then like what are we supposed to do besides complain?
Correct. Correct. So I'm glad you touched the fire scene, right? And I appreciate you because you came out that day,
Right.
right?
And that's when I
Um,
met you and I'm like, oh, this guy is very intelligent. I haven't even noticed.
so I'm again in the North Ward, right? And how this stemmed is um Jamar Youngblood put it up and said, "Hey guys, I'm at this fire scene, right?" And me, the typical person that just can't sit and watch, I said, "Where is it at?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
And he shared the location, and I said, "I'll see you in about 20 minutes." That's how I ended up there, right? Because I believe that as a city official, what I aspire to be is to be in as many places as possible to be able to help our community, right? So I get to this location and you
Mm-hmm.
were there. We see your charred up house, right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and to my surprise, right, what I expected was I'm gonna walk up to this scene and I'm gonna see people getting involved. I did, I did. But you know who was involved?
It wasn't
Candidates,
right.
candidates, candidates. And I'm gonna mention them, right? Jamar Youngblood was there. Donna Jackson was there. Jimmy McCoy was there. I was there. I went from the North Ward to the West Ward. Okay. I went there. And yet, your current councilman never set foot in the area.
It's the
That
truth.
is a problem,
Yep.
right? We had four families that were displaced. The Red Cross was there. The Red Cross did whatever they could, right? But where are
Mm-hmm.
you as a city official? And I understand, right? Just like I said earlier, I can't be in two places at once. But if you're somewhere, have an aide stop by and say, "Hey, I am the aide to such and such.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to help. How can he help you? He unfortunately can't be here right now, busy taking care of other business, but I'm here to represent him." It would have went a long way.
Right.
Would have went a long way, right? And we went above and beyond. This family now has lost most of their belongings, right? And whatever is left, whatever was salvageable, is now locked in this house until they get clearance to be able to go back in and get it out. Okay. One unfortunate person was a baby whose mom
Yeah.
grabbed him and
Yeah.
ran out. And you
Yeah.
know it very well, Shakima.
It was a
What did
little
we do?
it was about a 6 month old baby.
What did we do? We said, how can we help? When that mom expressed, this is what I need, us, the candidates,
Yeah.
chipped in with no questions asked. How much do you need? And someone went out, and I'll mention it. Queen went out and bought that baby formula, bought that baby clothes, and bought that baby bottles to be able to have that baby secure. Right? We dealt with the residents and made sure that they were attended to by the Red Cross. The Red Cross, like I said, does minimal, but they help.
Yeah,
Right?
they
But
showed up. They showed up.
they needed somebody from the city to help, somebody to listen. You're not being heard in the city of Newark right now.
Wow. Wow. Next speaker.
Next speaker.
Next
Exactly.
speaker. Next
Exactly.
fire, unfortunately,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Next.
yeah,
And to make it a point, there was two fires that day. There was one
it
in the
was
East Ward and one in the West Ward.
right.
The
Yeah.
only difference, and I give him credit. I give him credit. He's in the only ward that's not being opposed right now. Mike Silva showed up to that other fire. What's the difference in the West Ward?
Yeah, he did show up. He did
Lack
show up.
of compassion, lack of importance. Whatever you're doing, you can stop for 20 minutes. You don't have to be there for 4 hours.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let me make it a point. Us candidates, we were there for.
Uh-oh, we lost Eden. Hold on. Let's get Eden back on. Wait a minute. We got to get Eden back on. Uh-oh. Okay, Eden, where are you? Carbon T says Silva takes care of his ward. Okay. All right, we got to get Eden back on. Give me 1 second. Uh-oh. Okay. We will get him back on, but get into the comments about the questions that you want Eden to answer regarding his run for Councilman at Large. Get into the comments. All right, we got you back.
Apologies, guys. Everybody decides that they want to call when and the phone went loopy and kicked me out. But like I was saying, right? We were there, and that's all that mattered to those residents. I wish it would have gotten the attention that it needed.
Okay, so I noticed that you have economic opportunities and small business growth and youth. Okay, so all right, those two. Can you give us more details about your plan and how you're going to make these relationships with Prudential Financial, PSE&G, New Jersey Transit?
So simple, right? Large corporations have something that is called tax deductible donations, right? While they do get tax breaks with the city, remember that, right? Those companies get tax breaks as well.
Okay.
That doesn't get publicized as much because they don't want the residents to continue complaining about that, right? They have what is called tax deductible donations, right? How those companies can help, right? You can inspire training programs to be able to have our residents employed locally, to be able to fit your qualifications for the next time you have a hiring need, you can hire locally from Newark, right? Prudential does a lot. Prudential does a lot for the city of Newark, and I have to shout them out. They do a lot. They help, right? They're probably the largest corporation that invests more money in Newark. But you know what they do?
What?
They invest more money in the wrong areas.
Okay.
They invest more money in,
Hold on 1 second. People can't hear you. They're in the comments. They said you sound low.
Oh my goodness. Let me put on the other AirPod. Let's see. Any better now?
Let me see. Say, what were you saying?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can everyone else hear? The sound did get low. We hear more of, it sounds like a kung fu flick in the background.
Oh, that's probably the religious group that's preaching on Bloomfield Ave.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So right outside my house, there's actually a religious group preaching the word of God. So probably my AirPods are so good that you're catching some of them.
Okay.
But where did we leave off? That
Okay, better. All right. So they said the sound is better, but okay, you said training programs for businesses like Prudential Financial with the city to prepare our residents to go
to
work there.
To be hired local, right? Right now we have a serious concern with that, right? A lot of our residents feel that these large corporations should hire locally, right? But I'll be the first one to tell you we're not prepared for that. We're not prepared for that. Our city has failed our residents and has not provided them with the programs to be able to get them ready to meet those qualifications, right? While we do have very bright individuals and people that are maybe qualified for it, there's more people that need those further resources, right? So how do we get there, right? We partner with large corporations like Prudential to be able to co-fund resources to be able to get our people trained correctly, to be able to get our youth into programs that'll prepare them to go into college and be able to aspire to work in the huge buildings that Prudential has in our downtown district, multiple buildings, right? Now, discussed enough about Prudential. PSE&G the same way. Do you know that PSE&G has a minority hiring program?
No.
A women's Excel program?
No.
Where they promote hiring women in leadership?
Oh, wow.
Hiring veterans?
Wow.
You know what the problem is?
What?
The problem is that we're not informed of those programs. Those programs are happening, and if you don't go looking for them, you won't find out about them, right? So in a PSE&G aspect, we need PSE&G to start advertising. We need PSE&G to put it out to our residents and say, hey, this is an opportunity for you to come and work for us, right? These are your options. Are you a minority that's looking to excel and become part of our leadership? Are you a woman that wants to be in a leadership role? Are you the person that's going to be our next, supervisor for the meter readers or whatever it is, right? But they don't advertise that. And the people that are benefiting from that are the people whose city or town are taking the time to research this and put it out there, right? So the people hired are people from Belleville, people from Maplewood, people whose government is taking the time and saying, PSE&G has this opportunity. And this is where I come in, right?
Right.
That's where I'm going to come in and start looking for these opportunities, right? But now I have this document in my hands. What do I do with it? The city of Newark has no way of notifying you, right? Right now, there is no avenue. There is no community bulletin board. If you go on the city website and go try and look for resources, employment opportunities, job fairs, festivals, community events, you have to go looking in Facebook.
Wow.
Right? So we need to be able to take our city website and put a community board there so that everyone is free to go in there. Corporations, residents, community leaders, anybody can go in there and post an event and promote their event, and people will show up. Right? Now, the biggest thing that the city council has is we have a hiring event sponsored by such and such councilman and your honorable mayor. Shakima, when was the last time you heard about a hiring event in Newark? Do you know?
I know about job fairs through someone that I follow who actually works for Workforce and Development. So he does a pretty good job. That's Councilman Montague over in Orange, I believe. So that's how I know. But I haven't seen any. He's outside of Newark, so I can't follow any of these elected officials on that because they're not doing it.
I'm gonna share a fact with you. You know that there has been 2 hiring events in Newark this past week.
Really?
No. Why? Why don't you know? Because there's no community board that's gonna promote it.
Why not?
Exactly. Why not? It's a simple fix. You're giving somebody a resource, a simple resource. It's just telling your IT department, give me a community board where people can post their events so we can keep our residents informed. And that's it. And people will see those hiring events. People will know I need to go to the city website and find my resources and find my events. Not go digging through Facebook, not finding out. And I appreciate them. A councilman from East Orange is informing our Newark residents. Where's the downfall? Your own council isn't informing you. You have to wait till you get to a council meeting and wait till the end when they all get to pick up their little flyers and say, we're having a women's event this coming Sunday at 6 p.m. But guess what? Only the people who are watching that live stream are finding this information out. The rest of your city is not hearing this because they're either working or busy and could not attend that live stream. A community board, easy to find.
Wow. So let me ask you this other question about small business growth. What's your plan with that? Because that was a great answer too, and a very easy fix that I feel like the person in charge of jobs, employment, and training in the city should be.
And it costs the city nothing.
Right. Yeah.
No investment. You're not spending any money. You're just adding another feature to the very, very, very unorganized city webpage. But go ahead. You had a question.
Yes. Small business growth.
Small business growth. Simple. I'm getting sick and tired of seeing small businesses in Newark not flourish.
Okay.
They don't flourish, right? Perfect example. A business will open today, right? I can tell you within 6 to 9 months, I've seen at least, let's say for example, 10 businesses I see open today. In 6 to 9 months, I've seen 5 of those close. Why? Because our city does not support local business. Meanwhile, you're concerned about bringing the Chick-fil-A to Newark. Meanwhile, you're supporting Whole Foods. You're supporting the big names because the big brands get you attention. But the little Mexican restaurants, the black-owned business that sell that great soul food, that oxtail, them collard greens, I love them, right? They don't get the same attention. And they, once again, have to promote themselves on social media because their city is not busy promoting them, right? The city is not busy saying, hey, you have a business. I have a meeting. Can I host my next meeting in your business? What does that bring? That
takes relationship building too, though.
Exactly. Why are you not building a relationship with your locally owned business?
You can't do that when you're shutting people down or, bullying people because they didn't vote for you.
But now, and I've seen this for myself. This is my personal testament, and I'm probably going to get somebody upset about it. I've seen it for myself.
Okay, what have you seen?
You take the time as a city official to walk into this establishment, right? Order your food, and when that owner says, no worries, on me, you don't have the guts to even say no. I want to pay for my food. Because guess what? In that little fraction of the moment, you're helping that business grow.
Right.
Because that owner is basically doing this just to show you a courtesy. Let's say that. You can say, no, I want to pay for my meal because you deserve this income because you're a local business in Newark. Right. And again,
I know exactly where you're going with it. And I feel you because that's something I would do because I have people different small business owners I work with, and they're like, oh, you can have that for free. And I'm like, no, I want to support you. I want to help you grow. And if I'm willing to pay somebody else outside of Newark, why can't I pay you too?
Yeah. You see where it's coming, right? This is
Yeah.
economic growth.
Yeah.
And again, we're helping each other. No,
Yeah.
you're not stepping out of your realm. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're helping this business grow. You're hosting your meetings there. So when people like Shakima, let's say I own the restaurant and I said, come to my restaurant and host your next event.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm bringing 20 people. Those are 20 prospective customers that business will get.
Exactly.
Now, it is that business responsibility to keep that business, right? We can't control that, right? If people are not impressed by it or wish not to continue coming to it, that's people's personal opinion. But we did our part with helping you grow.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Sowing a seed. That's what Miss Patty said. Okay. She said sowing a seed.
Yes. And the seed, listen, the seed, once it's planted, it'll grow, right? Once the tree grows, it's up to you to keep it and let it flourish, right? We can't help you flourish if you don't know how to take the next step, but we've done our part. And if you fail, we can say we tried to help you, right? And
Right.
you failed because your practices weren't the right ones. And even then, right? Why don't we provide them with business solutions, right? If you're struggling, why don't we provide them with resources to be able to say, hey, I'm struggling with this situation. How can you help me? Okay, so what is the problem? Oh, people in my neighborhood are don't like my food or are talking or giving negative reviews about it. Okay, well let's come to a forum. Let's host another event and see how we can fix that. Right? We need to get involved. Businesses are closing because they don't have the support of the city. It's a shame.
What about when someone supports so many people, but those people don't show the support back? I've seen that too.
Mm-hmm. Correct. And that's why I say it, we can give you a certain level of support, right? You need to play your part, right? You need to provide you need to provide consistent customer service to keep that business, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to be able to, and I'll use a perfect example, right? The fire we went to in the Westwood, right? We were in a residential community, but let's say if we were on Stuyvesant, and the house next to a business on Stuyvesant decided that it was going to catch fire and burn, right? That business owner, right? How do you help? By engaging the community and saying, hey, here's some bottled waters. I see you're thirsty. Here's your next meal because I see you lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They have to play their part. They have to be part of the community, and that's why I say, when you got to play your part, you need to be part of the community. You need to provide that community with customer service. You need to earn your way to that respect level. We've done our part. We've promoted your business. You have to make it flourish.
Okay. I don't think people are even getting this support out there.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. There's no support. There's no support. There's absolutely no support.
Now, what about you said our seniors deserve strong programs and services that keep them active?
Yes, ma'am. This is a topic that's very dear to my heart. Right?
So, okay, talk to us about it.
Our seniors deserve care. Right? I'm going to refer a lot to a fellow social media user, Mr. Leon Coleman. Right? Leon Coleman goes out every morning and visits seniors in their senior buildings. Right? Elevators are down for months. These are seniors that use walkers to get up, right? Some have respiratory issues and cannot go up the stairs. 1 of 4 elevators is working. You have to wait an hour to get an elevator to get up to your apartment. It's out there. Our community is putting it out there. And yet, months before you even attempt to show face, and even after you show face, the issue is still not resolved. Please tell me that in a $1.6 billion budget, we don't have the money to fix an elevator. There's emergency funds for that. Get it done. Give those seniors what they deserve, right? Give those seniors more meal programs. There's a lot of seniors out there, Shakima, and I'll tell you that sometimes go to bed hungry.
Wow, that's sad.
And I'll tell you.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's sad, man.
And you know why they go to bed hungry? Because
Why?
these are seniors that probably have no family members that visit. These are seniors that probably are living in so much of a fixed income that have run out of money. Meal programs are simple. You can get those same businesses that I discussed to chip in all together and donate food, donate prepared foods, prepared meals to these seniors to keep them fed. I speak truth, right? I speak truth, right? Our seniors, you could take them to bingo in Atlantic City as many times as you like. What help does that? What help does that give them? You keep them entertained for an hour or two, maybe 6, but then they go back home to the same environment where they have no food, where they have to wait for an hour to get an elevator, where they're being mistreated by the management companies in these lovely housing buildings.
Yeah, I've heard of the senior abuse.
Come on. So if you want to get involved, fix their problems. Fix their problems. Give them a building that they can live in, rodent free. Give them a building where they can catch an elevator and go home when they want to, so they can be in the peace of their own home. Give them a building that is not being consumed by outsiders that are looking to sleep in their hallways because they want to stay warm. Right? This is simple. You just have to listen. Felicia says it all the time. These are the housing problems. She presents them to you and still no solution. Still no solution. We're giving you the information. We're bringing it to you. You don't even have to go out and get it.
Yeah.
People are vocalizing it, and you're just saying, next speaker.
Wow. And you know, Lizani Maldonado says something really important. She said community relations is important.
Yes, it is.
So this current administration lacks that. And I'm beginning to see why so many people threw their hats in the ring to run for these council seats.
So I'll use a perfect example with community engagement, right? I got 2 things. I got one called the umpire technique, right?
Okay.
And for those of you who are not familiar with umpires in a sporting event, my perception of it is the umpire is there to upset everyone in the public when they make a bad call, right? And at the end of the game, the umpire is the first one to disappear. You never see him, right? The game is over, the umpire runs, goes home, and you're like, where's he at? That's the umpire technique. And our our current administration as a whole uses that umpire technique, right? They show up to an event, shake hands, kiss the babies, and then all of a sudden you go, where's the councilman? Gone, right? If they're at a parade, right? We hold a parade and they're over there waving their little flags and saying, oh, we support you, we support you. You get at the end of that parade and what's waiting for them? Suburban's ready, turned on, ready to go, and they hop in and say goodbye. When the residents say, let me catch that councilman so I can speak to him, they're gone. That's the umpire technique, right? And it leads to my community factor, which is the most important. That community is looking for you. That community wants to see you. Okay?
Yeah.
This is the face they want to see.
Accessible.
I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say when I get that seat. My promise to you, Facebook, and everyone listening, is that I will be your face. You will see me. I will not be in my office in City Hall.
You'll be outside.
I will be outside. I will be holding community meetings. I want to hear from the residents. Because guess what? I use this as my tactic. I want to have the 4 easiest years of my life.
Okay.
And how do I fix that? By spending my first 100 days, my first couple of months, and even through my 4-year tenure, showing my face to you so you can tell me exactly what you need so I can give you the resources and help you succeed. So that you then come to council meetings and I want to hear, Councilman Rivera, thank you for helping me. That's what I want to hear. Because if I'm not hearing a resident coming to the council meeting and saying thank you to me, I'm not doing my job. So we're going to take opportunities to at least show face at every single ward at least twice a week.
Twice a week? Wow.
Twice a week.
That's pretty good.
Because that's what you pay me to do. This is a paid position. I'm not volunteering. If I was volunteering, I'd be able to say, well, you know what? I am a volunteer and I have other things to do, so you're going to have to wait for me. But this is a paid position. And
Exactly.
You guys fund. You, the resident of Newark, fund.
Exactly.
I work for you. So my commitment is to be the face, to show you that I'm there. So you can understand that you can come to me. And again, if I don't have the answer, because I am human, I may not have the answer to everything, I can point you to the person that can get you that answer. And you can reach out to me and I can tell you, I'm going to follow you through that process until you get a solution. Because guess what? It leads to my last point, our good old friends in City Hall, right? We have our, I call it the castle. Please, guys, don't misconstrue this. We have no kings. I call City Hall the castle because it's a main hub to everything that you need. The problem is, what I've been seeing, and I've seen it a lot, is that residents go with a problem. And they visit a specific department and explain that problem and they come out upset. How do you go with a problem and come out more upset than you were when you presented the problem?
Wow.
That's because City Hall is not giving you the answers that you need. Because you're going to a certain department and you're getting someone who, first of all, does not give you the proper customer service. Two,
Right.
may not be qualified to give you the answers that you need.
Right. Right. And Narita Gonzalez said, excellent, a follow-up phone call. Great. It would be great.
Listen, you don't need a follow-up phone call. You deserve an answer when you're there. If you need a follow-up phone call, the person that's sitting at City Hall and you're asking the question is not qualified to give you that answer. So guess what?
What?
Blank. If I go into, perfect example, I'll use the city clerk. Again, guys.
Great example. Oh my God. This lady, I don't think she's competent.
Right? I'm going to share both versions, right? I was privy to visits, obviously, for my candidacy, visit the city clerk's office plenty of times, right? I went the first time and showed up on time. Same lady comes up to me. I'm not going to mention names, right? Comes up to me and says, hello, sir, how are you? Great reception. And I'm like, well, people tell me City Hall isn't providing customer service.
No, some people are great. Some people are.
No, but this lady wowed me, right? And I'm like, wow. I went out of there. Me and my campaign manager walked out of there, and he was like, listen, when we were driving up here, you told me that to be prepared because we probably weren't going to get what we wanted. But we got what we wanted, right? Great customer service. That person was qualified to take care of me and gave me the answers. Now, I picked up my petitions. Now I go to return my petitions. That lovely lady was not there. Right? So I go with my petitions and I'm like, what? Standing there. This silence is not because I'm trying to think as to what I'm going to say. I'm literally standing there like this.
Next speaker.
2 minutes later, the head stops focusing on whatever she was looking at in the computer screen and says, "Yeah."
Wow. Like you're bothering her while she's at work.
Good afternoon. I'm here to turn in my petition. Give me a minute. Okay. So, whatever, Again, people can have good days and bad days. Not going to say that That's the same way she always is, right? We give her the benefit of the doubt. So I wait patiently. And she comes and she says, okay, were you here the other day? I've been here before. And she goes, were you the guy that was short on petitions? I said, no, ma'am, I'm here to return them today. This is my first time here. She's like, oh, okay. Grabs my petitions, puts them on the table, and says, well, you have to wait because now somebody has to come and help me count. Okay.
Oh.
Sitting there waiting. Multiple people pass by. I don't see her asking anyone to help her count. Right? Finally, the one person that gave me a positive result the first time I was there appears. And
oh, wow.
I swear to God, it was like an angel. I was like, oh, you finally arrived. So she comes and she's like, hey, how are you? How can I help you? I said, well, my petitions are sitting there waiting to be counted. And the first thing she turns around and says to the other young lady is, why didn't you start counting already?
Wow.
Now, mind you, this is me waiting and my personal time. I could have been doing something else. But again, it's the customer service level. It's the qualifications, right? Making sure that our city hall gives people the answers they need and people go out of there happy. They say, wow, I got an answer from city hall. And even if it's owing you a follow-up, you can say they pointed me to the right person.
Mm-hmm.
And again, no investment. You're not spending any extra money because you're still paying that person to do their job.
Absolutely. Jay Main says too many homies in City Hall behind the desk. He's seen a guy. He's seen a guy wearing a Yankee cap behind the desk in what is supposed to be a business environment.
I'm gonna share another one. I got plenty. We got a time limit here, or are we gonna do 2 hours?
Well, I mean, biologically, I have a time limit because
I hear you. No, I hear you.
I've been up all day.
So I'm going to share another one, right?
Okay.
The whole homie factor, right? I was at City Hall, and I'm again a very observant person. I like to read between the lines, and I like to analyze where I'm at.
Okay.
Not only to caring about my safety, but everybody else's, right? And I'm at City Hall, and a person comes out, right? Comes out of a certain department, right? And visibly upset, right? And gets met by another City Hall employee. And again, I commend that person. He was like, oh, hey, what's wrong? Somebody in there that didn't help you? Yeah, this is the situation. And he goes, oh, don't worry, I know him. Let's go back inside. He'll give you what you want now because I'm going to speak to him. Oh, okay. So the issue is an issue that everyone is experiencing, right? It's an issue that, and I'll put it out there, it was code enforcement.
Wow.
It was code enforcement, right? Gentleman went in there asking about a specific violation, and I guess got a very negative result. He's like, don't worry, we'll go in there. I know this guy. He'll give you an answer and give you a solution. It wasn't really a solution. If you read between those lines, it wasn't really a solution. The gentleman expressed himself to this individual in the hallway and said, make this disappear. And
really?
Disappear. That's the homie factor. That's the homie factor.
You witnessed all of that.
Witnessed it.
Right there in your face.
That's why in every interview, I pick on code enforcement because I know very well. And Shakima, our experience with the Westward fire.
That was crazy.
Put the last nail in that coffin for me because I know there's people in there that are not qualified. There's people in there that are not truthfully living up to their oath as a code enforcement officer. We need to clean that up. We need to clean up all of City Hall.
Wow.
And the gloves are off. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm tired. Just like every resident in the city of Newark is tired. I'm tired. Let's fix it. The way to fix it is changing it in 2026. That's the only way to fix it.
So it sounds like getting some qualified people in there.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because I can tell you what's going to happen. And again, many of us candidates share the same outlook and the same perspective and the same vision, right? What I'm going to tell you is that when I get into that chair officially on July 1st, be prepared on July 2nd for me to start analyzing each and every department, right? And each and every department has to prove to me that you have qualified individuals that can do their job. Now, me, the human, I have compassion and I have a human side. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to walk into a department and say, you're all fired, get out. Not going to happen, right?
Okay.
We're going to review qualifications and say, hey, it looks here like you're not qualified to be here. Go a step beyond and say, the city is going to provide you with the resources to get qualified.
Okay, I like that. Right? I like that. Sharp James did that.
Yes.
He sent people to get trained for the positions that they were doing, which is smart and what you would do if you really want to hook the homies up, make sure they're qualified and doing their job.
Exactly.
And none of us, and you know what? I don't think any of us would be bothered because the work is getting done.
So the end result is that we want somebody who's qualified. So we're going to make that happen. We're going to say, here's the resource. This is where you need to go. And we'll help you. Right? Now, let's say it takes 9 months to a year to get qualified as a code enforcement officer.
Okay.
At month number 12, you will be sitting in front of me again. And you have to show me that you have successfully completed the program and that you meet the qualifications to keep your job.
Absolutely.
At that point, if you don't have those qualifications, if you haven't done your part and you're not a fit for that department, I'm sorry, but we have to find other options for you. Because again, this is my human aspect.
Yeah.
Right? This is my human aspect. So you might not be a fit for code enforcement, but you might be a fit somewhere else within City Hall. Now, if you're not a fit anywhere else in City Hall, I'm sorry to say, I must deliver the bad news. It's time for you to go.
Absolutely.
Right? But we're not just doing this on
giving them an opportunity.
Correct. We're not doing this on the officer level. We're going to do this at the supervisor level. We're going to do this at the director level. Because guess what? If you need to be qualified to be an enforcement officer, you also need to be very qualified to be able to supervise this group of individuals below you. And as a director, you need to be able to be qualified to handle this complete department. It's management 101.
Absolutely.
And it goes back to the homing factor. Right now, he who does favors gets a job at City Hall. I said it. I said it because I've had a family member, right, who has a college degree, who went to City Hall and applied for a job in City Hall.
I've heard about this before with people.
Met with an individual at City Hall. She's still waiting for a follow-up call. And this is a qualified individual.
And how long ago was this? Months or years?
I would say 6 months.
Wow.
6 months. Corporations like Prudential at least give you the decency and respect after 7 days. They tell you you're no longer being considered. At least give them that. At least give them that. But then to find out that, you know, later in the course, someone that's not qualified is in there. Someone who did a favor for a favor is in there. Come on, guys. We could get this. We need to get it fixed. The favoritism aspect. Okay. Perfect example. Today, I got a call from a resident. I got a call from a resident today. And he says, listen, I just want to let you know that I saw you on Facebook and I support you. Thank you, sir.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to your support on May 12th. He's like, count on it. And we start talking. I spent 45 minutes with this individual on the phone. I don't have to. I'm a candidate. I don't have to, but I did, right? And in this course of conversation, he said,
I'm just tired of voting. I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote.
Wow.
I'm gonna vote again because you guys, candidates, have raised the awareness that I need to vote again if I want to make a change. I said, good,
Yeah.
please do
Yeah.
so. If it's not for me, do it for someone else. We need the change, right? So
Right.
tidbit, he comes and he says, well, I got tired. I said, why did you get tired of voting? He says, because many years ago, I voted for a candidate. Okay, that candidate is still in office, by the way.
Ooh.
I voted for a candidate and I helped with his campaign. And I was promised a job at the end of the campaign. He's like, I called for 2 months straight. I guess this individual got tired of hearing me and sent me to an individual in Orange and said, go there. I set everything up. All you have to do is go through the interview and get hired.
Okay.
He's like, when I showed up to the place, told the individual that I was sent by a certain individual to get hired, he was like, we're not hiring.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Brush off.
Next speaker.
Right? This guy's calling me. He's getting me sick and tired. So just send them to somebody who's gonna get him upset. And he said it very clearly. I got so upset that I just stopped calling. I said, that's the problem. That's the problem. They know that. They know that as long as they take you through 6,000 hoops, you're going to get tired and you're going to stop pursuing.
That's what. Yep.
These are the facts, people.
But the problem for them is that they're getting people now who don't stop.
Correct.
Who keep going.
Correct.
You know, and that pressure has to stay consistent until we get somebody in.
But the problem is that those people who don't stop and keep going are getting very upset in the process. But they're being outweighed by the people who stop going. Okay. 80% of the people say, okay, you gave me a response. Okay, I guess bad luck for me. But you got the 20%, the Donna Jacksons that keep coming back and get results. Listen, I tip my hat to all of our activists because Donna Jackson comes to you with facts. Donna Jackson contacts departments. Donna Jackson gets you answers. Felicia Singleton, the same thing. Queen goes out there and gives you results, gives you answers. That's what we need. But we don't need the residents to be doing that. We need our government to be able to support it as well. Right?
Exactly.
How untouchable will we be? How much bigger of a machine will we be if our residents are succeeding and our administration is succeeding?
Right. And these council people also have 5 people under them.
Yes, ma'am. And that's why I made it a point, and I said it when we were discussing the fire. You don't have to physically go there. One of your 5 aides needs to go there. So guess what? When I get in my seat, and goodness gracious, I hope a current aide isn't listening because it kind of gives them some sort of bad news, right? When I get in the seat, my aides will not be working 9 to 5. Some will, right? And we'll find a fair way to do it. But guess what? The proper way of me being able to service my city is to have somebody on call.
Exactly.
Is to have somebody that's able to answer an email that comes in at 1:30 in the morning. Is to have somebody that's able to answer that call at 1:30 in the morning and show face.
Exactly.
5 aides. I have 5 people that I can use to my benefit to help me succeed and to help keep my residents happy. Right? I wish all of the other council women or men wish to follow suit, but that's what's going to happen with my 5 aides. My 5 aides will be as engaged as me, right? Because you need to know what to do in the event that, hey, I'm human, I go on vacation, or I'm sick, or I'm at another event. I want you to be able to say, I spoke to your aide, we're good. I want my aide to be able to help you as much as I can and give you that answer to the best of their knowledge or as adequate as I would give it to you.
Right.
So
right.
I'm sorry if I get a seat in on July 1st because now if there's an aide watching, they know what to expect when I get in that seat.
Hey.
But again, honesty, transparency, and taking accountability for it. Right.
Okay.
I take accountability for what I do. I take accountability for the promises that I make. One thing that, you know, my mother always taught me was, don't make a promise you can't keep.
I
Because
agree with that.
the consequences come 10 times harder when you don't
Yeah.
meet those promises,
Yeah.
right? So my promise is that I will listen. I will give you the answers that you need, and I will honestly answer it. I will honestly tell you, this is something that I can't help you with, but I will give you the resources, right? My promise to you is, and I make it on every interview, and I'm definitely not going to deprive you of it. My promise is that when I get that seat on July 1st, if at any point within those 4 years, I am not meeting your requirements, I want you to come personally to me and ask me to resign. I will resign, because guess what? My
What?
first promise to you was transparency and accountability. My accountability goes a long way. I have to be held accountable. And I made you a promise that I was going to do my job. And if I'm not doing it, I will leave. There's no reason for
Okay.
me to be there if I'm not doing my job. Hence why we have a city council that we have today, because no one has asked them to leave. You do know that you have the right to request a resignation of any public official if they're not meeting the necessary requirements.
Yeah.
And that applies to the
Yeah.
mayor, right?
Yeah.
Not, you know, I quote a certain candidate, right? But plenty of us have told you, if you don't like me after 4 years, don't vote for me, right? But that's not the schematic we're following now, because people,
Yeah.
even though they don't like the current council, are still voting for them. So now you have, at large, you
Insanity.
have 19 options. Pick the right one and vote them out. You have an option in every ward. If you're not happy with your council person, vote them out. The only ward
Absolutely.
that is safe is the East Ward, because unfortunately he has no opponent. And I must give credit when credit is due. The most active council person that I have seen is the East Ward councilman.
Yeah, he definitely set a standard.
And Shakima, when you go to a council meeting, he's the only one that looks like he's actually listening to you. It might be a perception, right? Because we all can be actors, but
Right.
I admire the fact that he sits and he turns his chairs to the public and he actually sits there and listens. While it may be an act, he actually looks like he's listening. And guess what?
What?
He's proved it. He's proved it. Because when everybody was at an uproar, the snow, the snow, the snow, right? Everybody complained. Who was the only councilman that went out there first, and then everybody else followed suit? Who went out there first? Mike Silva.
Wow. Yeah, he was out there, and he hired, I remember he had the 2 contractors that were not a part of the city, not a part of the city's plan. They plowed the East Ward because it was such a mess. And the city didn't do what they were supposed to do, but he also said he wanted to bring them to the council meeting to introduce them. And I'm like, wow. He was very impressive. I was very impressed with that.
Notice
so
how
yeah, I've seen his work too.
Notice how I only said one name in this whole interview, right?
Exactly. And there's 9 of them.
I only honor and give respect to those who are doing their job.
Right. Right. So, all right. So we're at the end of the show.
A little bit over.
The live stream. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. You were doing your thing.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to interrupt, but I do want to give you the opportunity to give us your last words, comments, and let us know what your ballot number, your ballot position is for May 12th, 2026.
So my name is Edden Rivera, ballot number 16B, and I'm running for your next councilman at large for the city of Newark, right? I've expressed myself in the most truthful and honest and humble fashion that I can, right? If any one of you would like to meet, please feel free to reach out. I am more than accessible. Okay. The one thing, and I'll take this time to not, I'm going to yield this time to, instead of speaking about me and how I want your support, I just have one favor to ask of each of you. Please don't let May 12th look like April 21st.
Ooh.
Get out there and vote. It doesn't have to be for me. It has to be for our city. Understand that. While I'm looking for your support, and I will appreciate it and look forward to being able to service you as of July 1st, 2026, please make the wise choice. Do not vote based on popularity. Do not vote based on favors. Vote on the person you can trust can do the job for you. With that being said, guys, thank you to Shakima for her time. This
You're
is your
very
personal
welcome.
time, right?
You're
I
very
appreciate
welcome.
you, and I appreciate our audience because they're taking time out of their personal time to hear this poor Joe Schmo talk about himself and about our city.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad that I met you that day and I was able to make a connection and invite you on the live stream because I think you're definitely a voice, a leader that people in our city should hear. And if I could help that, I was down for it.
Yep. And this is more than enough help. Guys, once again, just feel free to reach out at any point in time. Some of you have, and I'm more than happy to, interact on Facebook or person, just make the initial contact, and I don't leave anybody unanswered. So please understand that you will get an answer. I am human, right? And I do have a personal life and employment
Right.
obligations. So please give me some time, but I will get you, I will get to you, and we will have personal conversations if you reach out. I've done it several times already.
All right.
All
Thank you
right.
so much. Yes. Okay, that was Edden Rivera. This has been Current Exposure. Thank you all for watching the double feature. It was something new I tried, but I'm trying to get as many candidates on as I could that are respectful and
Yep.
and I feel like they have strong voices and strong ideas. But yeah, thank everyone. Thank you, Edden.
You're welcome.
And shout out to your team too.
Thank you.
They're in the comments showing you a lot of love.
I unfortunately don't see the comments, but I'll read them. I'll read them now. I'll make sure that if anybody has a question or a concern, that I answer to the comments on Facebook.
Okay, all right. This has been awesome. So this has been Current Exposure. I'll see everyone next week. In peace. We're out.
Thank you.